Step one, we got to take the filter cap off, remove the filter. Step two, we got to take the bracket off that holds the filter. You got 2 screws on the carburetor and 1 up on the engine block. And this is a 1/4 inch nut driver. You need to take this off. The other 2 screws are Phillips. And that takes the filter holder off. Now we're going to swap positions and work on the other side. Next we need to shift the belt drive cover. Well, I mean shift, you don't need to take it off all, we just need to drop it so we can get to these bolts here on the carburetor. We need a 3/8 inch on this side and a 7/16 on the back to remove this. Now we're going to do one on the other side. The carburetor should be loose. Okay, we're going to use the Phillips part on this. Take the other screw off of the carburetor. That's what we're removing. It's a 3/8, but it also has a Phillips head on it. Now the carburetor should come free now, except for the linkage and the hoses. So we're going to remove the hoses. Now we need to move 2 lines off the carburetor, this one and that one. This should be the line to the gas tank. It's got a clamp on it, so we're changing the carburetor because the float's stuck, and in consequence, when the float sticks, all the gas runs out. You can't keep gas in it with this carburetor. I took the float apart and tried to do something with it, but that didn't work. Now we're going to take a screwdriver to the flat end here and try to work the flat screwdriver, try to work the hose off. Let me get this one off, one thing at a time. Okay. Now turn this a little bit. We got the linkage here. We're going to go ahead and move the linkage. Give me more flexibility to take the hose off the carburetor. Okay, now we got the carburetor down where we can see what we're doing. In theory, this hose should have just slid off. Linkage in this hole. We need to remove that and save it so we'll have it for later with a new carburetor. Okay, now we need to replace the hose first. We had to remove the old fuel hose. As you can see, it's cracked, it's rotten, it was leaking. This might have been the culprit the whole time, but we decided to replace the carburetor earlier, so we're going to go ahead and do that. If you decide to take on this project, it'd be a good idea to have some fuel line on hand. The 1/4 inch SAE fuel line will fit it, or you can buy the Tecumseh fuel line, and we'll leave the link in the description for that directly from Amazon. The 1/4 inch SAE hose you can get from any auto parts store. In fact, you can take this other hose in and they'll measure it and they can give you a hose. We're going to try oiling this up, put some WD-40 on there, see if we can't slide it through now. Twist and push. Said it's a tight spot. I think it's going to go. And that saved us some labor. So there's a trick I learned, and now you know it. We're going to hook the hose up to the gas tank here. I don't know why the bugs are interested in this. The clamp spun a little bit, so let's hope we can turn around without too much problem.
Wouldn't hurt for them to get clamps, extra clamps too.
Yes, you could always get extra clamps. Because you don't know if your old clamps you have to do this are going to work. Break off, etc. Okay. Now we got the hose on this side. We can go back to the carburetor operation where we started before. Okay, first thing we're going to do is put our bolts in. You don't want to lose them like that. That happens sometimes. Now we can hang our gasket on that and that'll stay. Take our new carburetor out. It's going to go in this way. You need to hook our linkage where it went before, and that is right in that hole. Okay. Now we want to attach the linkage before we put the carburetor in on the accelerator bar. It's easier to do this while the carburetor is not attached. Okay, now we got it attached. We're going to hold our bolts in the back. We're going to put the carburetor on there. Line up both bolts. And then we're going to attach our nuts on this side. Once you get one side started, the other side will be easier. You need to go on the other side so I can see what I'm doing, folks. Okay, we got both those snug. Now we can start putting the air filter assembly back together. Alright, suction line goes there. Gas line goes here. It's a whole lot easier doing this without the air filter on there.
So, stop.
I can move this clamp around, clamp it on. I don't know if you can see this or not. There. Suction hose on the carburetor does not have a clamp, just the gas line. Now, simple part. Now we got the new filter installed. We're going to go ahead and put it together. That's it for the carburetor maintenance. Now we can reposition our deck belt.